One.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 19, Hooked on Sonics. And we're here to give a mammoth a bath. I'm Bruce. That's Tony. How are you?
I am good, my friend. I am very good.
Excellent.
Had some work done around the house this past week and a lot of major accomplishments. So I'm pretty good. Just trying to look forward to some vacation time at the end of this month.
There you go. Good. See, this week I just got back from North Carolina, picked up some good records I was looking for. So
nice.
Drug my other brother Wayne out to a junky ass flea market. It said there's a record store in the area. I said, okay. It was a junky ass flea market. He's like, what the hell did you get me into? I just started laughing. So we had a good time.
Yeah, just make sure you're not bringing back anything with you.
No, I checked the vinyl. It was good.
Good.
So, yeah, this is going to be a really good episode, I think.
I'm excited for this episode. I'm very excited
I think
for
so.
this episode.
It's going to be some hot takes.
Yeah, what have you been listening to this week?
So I went down, because I went a little further south. I went down some Southern rock rabbit hole.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And one of the things that I really picked up on this week is going to be your album of next week.
Oh, sounds interesting. I feel excited.
Somewhat of a tease.
All right, cool.
Slight tease. What about you?
What have I been listening to this week? I was listening to something off the cuff this week. I think I actually listened to that Abbath album this week, just because I had mentioned it to you. And what else was I listening to? Believe it or not, some Jackson Browne.
Which one? Or just
I got his greatest hits.
Okay.
It's got that live version of "Stay" on it, and
that's great.
All kinds of great stuff on it. I think it's missing, I'm a firm believer that they release several greatest hits albums for bands, and on these albums they leave one song out purposely. One or two that should be on that album. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes, it drives me nuts.
It's like, okay, this was a huge hit for you. Why is it not on the album with the rest of these other hits?
Or they'll put some weird ass song like it's maybe a deep track, but it's terrible. It's like, what is this doing on here? It's awful.
Dude, I hate it. But I don't blame the artist for that shit.
No, it's all record company.
It's got to be all record companies, because it's their way to make you go out and buy the other component that you're missing.
Yeah, most artists have no real interaction with greatest hits or anything like that. There's so many repackaging of that stuff. So
yeah. Oh man, still waiting on albums to drop, man. And Dorothea Control album should be dropping in about, I'm guessing, 10 days or so. The new Bongzilla should be dropping soon. Still no word on the freaking Church of Misery album or the new Ohm album. It's driving me up a bit of a wall. There's another album I heard was coming out soon that I may check out. And I'm probably going to check out that other Mammoth album, just because we'll get to talk about that album later. But I mean, my review will let you know that, it's in a position that I kind of want to see what else is going on. But we'll go.
So the full album isn't out yet, but he has released a single.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Other than that, man, just nothing much, dude.
Okay.
Nothing much.
All right.
Get into some news or some drinks, or what do you want to do?
Well, let's get into some drinks and then some news.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Go ahead.
Huh? Going with a standard favorite of mine, thanks to you, Buffalo Trace Single Barrel with lemonade.
Nice.
with
So
sugar,
with that,
because I don't care.
I get it. But with that being said, found out that Buffalo Trace single barrel stuff that you're getting, those are store picks.
Yeah,
So
it is.
you're somebody in your store or affiliated with somebody in your store picked that barrel, which is pretty cool. So
Yeah.
I think you're getting, it's kind of a toss up, because some of those guys know that certain positioning of barrels in certain areas of the warehouses can produce a bit of a better flavor or whatever.
Yeah.
So pretty cool though. Pretty cool, man. I'm very interested. I'd love to taste that. I've never, I can't say I've ever have. So I'd love to.
Okay. Come on down.
Yeah. I need to get down there. Yeah. I do need to get down there.
And you, my friend.
I have no label.
Okay.
I have no exquisite thing to show you, but I can tell you this comes from a pretty exquisite bottle. This evening, in this fine here, kind of a little bit of a taller shot glass, is 1800 Cristalino.
Ooh.
And this is probably one of my favorite tequilas now that we're stepping into a tequila phase, and really going to start exploring some tequilas to have, some really nice ones to have on the show.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't even be drinking this tonight. Said went out with the wife and had dinner. While I was out, I had a margarita of sorts, and I figured no sense in stopping the tequila train now. Might as well just stick with it.
Whoop, whoop.
And I know you like tequila too, don't you?
I got to be in the mood for it, but I do like me some good Don Julio. And I like Ka.
Don Julio is not one of my favorites, man. Now, Kate's mom likes Don Julio. Yeah. She's a big fan of Don Julio, but you know what she's a bigger fan of now? And it's another one I like too. And I don't care what anybody says about it. Casamigos.
Okay.
Casamigos is really good, man. Their Blanco is amazing.
Oh, hey, I just remembered. You know what else I had over the weekend?
What's that?
Some homemade, homegrown grape moonshine. Whew.
Was it good? I've never had grape moonshine. I've had all
shout out to my
moonshine.
sister Jackie.
Jackie, you can send this. You can send some in for the program.
That's right. Plug, free plug, shameless plug. I don't care.
We are not ashamed to add.
I was nipping on that quite a bit. So.
Well, I'm also going to pull a beer out because I don't like drinking a shot without something to have with it. And we're going to have the Rheingeist Hustle. So, okay. You're getting a 2-for-1 special on the drinks tonight.
All right. Look at that.
That's how we do it. I'm off. This is my Friday, so let's make it happen, Captain.
Get it.
All right, well, let's step into some news real quick, man. Just a little bit of news I pulled from over our friends at blobbermouth.net. Doro Pesh. Don't know if you guys remember her, man, but 80s metal type band, Doro. She's got a new album coming out, I guess. We got some tour stuff coming up. It looks like Jeff Tate's doing a summer tour. Clutch will be doing a tour. Godflesh is also going to be doing a tour, if you're fans of those guys as well. Saxon, you mentioned them in a previous program. I guess they're working with some ideas about a new album. And Morbid Angel incident last Friday at a show there. Apparently a tornado, I think an F1, landed there and had collapsed the roof of the building, I believe killing at least one person and injuring a lot of others. Our thoughts and prayers go out to them in Belvedere, Illinois at, I believe it was the Apollo Theater that happened at, if I read that correctly. And our thoughts and prayers are with those folks and their families, and hopefully there's some quick recoveries there. And for the family that lost the gentleman, our prayers are with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
With that being said, I think the only other piece of news that I've got is seems to be some big fuss over Bud Light and
oh, buddy,
some of the things going on there. Now, I don't think it's in the best interest. And let me go ahead and finish, Bruce. I don't think it's in the best interest of this show to speak on political topics, because you're right if you're on one side, you're wrong if you're on the other, and I don't do the fighting. We don't do the fighting. We're not into it. Everybody has a right to their own opinion, their own grievances. We're not going to sit here and push that shit on this show.
It ain't that kind of show.
It ain't that kind of show. And with that being said, the only thing I take back from this is a lot of people seem to be pretty upset about this thing with the transgender individual being put on a can at Bud Light. You got to ask yourself, is this really going to hurt Bud Light's bottom dollar? Is this going to hurt Anheuser-Busch's bottom dollar? Could this be a move that becomes so divisive that it hurts a lot of their clientele or their intake? Me personally, it don't affect me. I don't drink the shit, so I've never been a fan of Bud Light, Budweiser, or any of that, even when my stepdad was a big drinker of that stuff. It's just not beer for me, man. I'm a microbrew guy. I'd rather support the little breweries than the big mega make you some piss water.
There you go.
You know that, and I don't like Coors. I don't like a lot of that shit, man. So I'm
communist. That's because you're communist, and it's okay.
I am not a communist.
That's probably why you brought this up. You're communist.
Stuff like that. No.
Oh. So the only thing I'll add to that, Kid Rock released a video this morning on Twitter.
Where he was shooting the Bud Light.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it's ridiculous. It was a nice gun.
It was a nice gun. I'm not going to say I actually like that kind of gun. But with that being said, it's his opinion. He's a bit of a divisive character himself. I don't let people's politics make me decide whether or not I like them. So I'll leave it at that.
There you go. Speaking of divisive people, round 2 of the Ace Frehley and Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley saga.
Yeah, I heard about that, man. It's going to be a hot mess. I'll wait to see how this goes down tomorrow. You got to let me know.
Yep.
Because I won't be plugged in.
Yeah. According to Eddie Trunk, Ace Frehley will return tomorrow on Trunk Nation. Much like last week, I do not know what he will say and where things stand, but we will find out together, as usual, live 3 to 5 on Sirius XM 103 or the app. It's going to be great. Ace kind of went a little conspiracy theory, little anti-Semitic. He was kind of all over the place.
Here's the truth. Ace just wants his fucking respect.
He wants money.
I don't think, dude. Listen, they all want money. But at the end of the day, I think Ace still wants his fucking respect.
He wants his place back, and he wants the money. In the first interview that he did with Eddie, that was about 45 minutes long, he kept mentioning, "I'll do it. I'll go back up there with him. Pay me. I want money." And he kept referring to it.
He's not wrong, though, dude. He's not wrong.
It's a business, but again, it ain't about the fans. It's not about, hey, let's get up there one more time. No, pay me. So I encourage you and everyone else to really listen to that first interview. And obviously the second one will come up tomorrow on YouTube pretty quick. You make your own opinion. So what do you think?
You think he's trying to extort Paul and Gene?
Yes. And I think he's listening to the wrong people, i.e. another girlfriend that's saying, "Oh, Ace, you're the best, and you're doing this, and they can't go on without you, and you're blah, 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 blah." And he's buying this horse shit. And
you think it's a girlfriend?
Yes, I absolutely think it's a girlfriend. It was the girlfriend last time. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see how it plays out.
Oh, it's
I
gonna be
don't want
great.
to kill too
Can't
much
wait for
time on
tomorrow.
this BS. I want to get
That's
down
why
to
you got
some
me.
meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's up?
Get them taters. You go.
Okay. My album review.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So it looks like I had Mammoth WVH. This comes from the late great Eddie Van Halen's son, Wolfgang Van Halen.
Mm-hmm.
Mother Valerie Bertinelli, longtime wife of Eddie Van Halen. With that being said, I believe I only got to listen to the U.S. release.
Okay.
And it only had about, I want to say, 14 tracks on it. And then apparently
That
there
is
is
correct.
a Japanese release and a digital deluxe edition that include additional songs on them. So I didn't get to check those out. That's
Okay.
just in all fairness. But what I did listen to, you and I kind of discuss things sometimes before we get on the show. This album was released in 2021,
Correct.
June of 2021, and it was recorded between 2013 and 2018. Apparently, is what I'm seeing here. With that being said, you have to ask yourself, if it was recorded from 2013 to 2018, why was it not released for 3 years, 4 years?
Because they were still as pretty standard with Van Halen. While Eddie was still going through his stuff, everything's real hush hush. And so basically, while Wolfgang was still under employment of Van Halen, he can't go out and record, or he can't go out and tour a new album and all that. So,
and understandable. The Van Halen clause.
Yes.
So with that being said, I understand that he wrote all the parts and all the music for this, which is absolutely an amazing accomplishment for a musician.
Played everything on it too.
And a multi instrumentalist. Let me also say the guy has a great voice. He has an absolutely great voice. There's nothing wrong with this gentleman's voice. If you are into some good rock and roll slash, pretty good alternative music here, because this definitely has an alternative vibe. This is an album for you. This is definitely an album for you. I think you should check it out and give it a chance. For me, this had a very Foo Fighters feel in a lot of the songs.
And I didn't pick up on that until you actually said it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can totally hear first Foo Fighters album on this. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, so yeah, this is solid. I mean, it's a really solid release. But once again, we fall into a situation where this isn't something that would be a main go-to for me. I mean, it's I'm not turning on the radio every day to listen to the Foo Fighters or things that sound like that. But I'm also, Foo Fighters come on, I'm not changing it. It's good stuff. It's nothing bad. It's nothing. It doesn't get my blood pumping or nothing like that. But it's just good stuff. And I think they write good music with good intentions. And I feel that way about this album. This album is written with great music, great musicianist, great vocals. This is a pretty great album for its type of genre. And I think if you are into some good music that you could sit back and listen to, that's got, don't, like you said, don't expect Van Halen on this. I kind of was hoping to hear something along the lines that would sound like Van Halen with the times they would do Hagar, because there is some separation there. But dude, this was a solid album. Standout track, and there wasn't really a lot of standout tracks to me, because everything for me was just okay, this is good. Okay, this is good. This is by no means bad. But I can see why the standout track on the album is Distance. I can see why that was the cover, because it is probably, in my opinion, the best song on the album. Now, that doesn't take away that there aren't some great elements in this album. I heard some great guitar playing. I heard some great bass playing. I heard things used in different ways and transitions from those ways being used on the same instrument into something that sounded a little different, but it was done very well. Very, very well. I cannot commend how well this young man has done his first attempt at putting out a solid album completely written by himself. It'd
And
be
perform.
interesting to learn. Oh yeah, it'd be a little interesting to find out the guys that he tours with, who he's using and why he's using those individuals. Because you got to imagine he's got to be using some top-notch musicians.
Yeah. I read an interview back when he was touring with Guns N' Roses, like who the band was and stuff. And they did about a month and a half of rehearsals. But none of the names really stood out to me. So I don't know if they were just like normal session players that he picked up.
I looked up the names, and not a lot of them were standing out to me too. But I'll tell you, if those guys are working on playing this stuff with him, they're probably some pretty damn solid musicians.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I can't dog the album, and I'm not going to dog the album. Okay, there's nothing here to dog, aside from the fact it's just not something that I would personally go to, because I listen to much harder stuff consistently. You know what I mean? I may go back and check this album out again because I've heard this album. I do have an interest in hearing the second album. And with that being said, that's why I'm going to give it the rating I'm going to give it. And this may even be my first rating like this. This is going to be an actual 7.75 for me.
Okay.
It's solid enough to listen to. Definitely check it out. It could be something that you really want to get into. Is it going to be your go-to album? Possibly, if this is your kind of thing. Is it going to be something that ends up in your rotation? Once again, possibly, if this is your kind of thing. But being where my background comes from and understanding what it takes to write music, put music together and whatnot, I can't dog this album. I just don't have it in me to go, well, because I am not going to probably listen to this album again.
Yeah.
3.5. No, I'm going to give it a 7.75. It definitely makes me want to check out the next thing. I want to see how he grows. That's why I want to listen to the next album, because if this is a first attempt, this is a hell of a first attempt, and especially if you're going for that hard rock / alternative style thing, good old style rock and roll style thing. This is a great attempt.
I agree. So standout tracks for me was really Mr. Ed, Don't Back Down, Distance, and You're to Blame. I love those songs. I love those songs a lot.
And I'll be honest with you, listening to what you just said, Don't Back Down, and I think You're to Blame kind of had some catchiness to it.
Yeah.
So but once again, man, it's solid album, great first attempt. I can't dog it. I can't do it. I just can't do it. And it's not because of whose kid he is.
He's made his own way. He's making his own way. And
this is good, man.
It's solid. Yeah, I agree.
It's solid. I can't dog it. Like I said, 7.75.
Yep. I'm about an 8. Rating. I'm about an 8 because, again, I think this is a little too young for me in a way. It's, definitely aimed for a younger audience. This, again, Foo Fighters-esque, but it's a little bit out of my wheelhouse, but I enjoy listening to it when I have it on.
I'll tell you what, I would love to see, we kind of talked about this stuff before. I would love to see, being that this has this vibe. And there could be stuff out there. I would love to see him work with some heavy hitters in the alternative world. I would love to see him work with some heavy hitters in the alternative world, because I think he has a lot to offer that genre of music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Cool. There's my review, 7.75.
I like it.
And that was for Mammoth WVH, all written by Wolfgang Van Halen.
Sweet pickles. So you gave me Abbath's self-titled album, Abbath. Released January 22nd of 2016. My, how the time flies. Tony, do you happen to remember the first thing I said to you or texted to you when I started listening to this album?
I don't feel.
I said, is that the Guitar Hero dude?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I used to play that dude all the time, that character, when I would play Guitar Hero. And come to find out, the cover of the album, I was like, holy shit, that's that dude. So how about that?
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Dude,
What was
there's a reason he was on Guitar Hero, because he is a freaking shredder, dude. The dude is good.
Yeah. What was when you gave me this album, what was the thing that you told me about it?
Norwegian black metal.
Norwegian black metal. That's right. I love the riffs in this album. The production value in this album is top notch.
Oh yeah.
The mix is perfect. The riffs are just phenomenal on most of these songs. There's a really good blend. Obviously, he's got his own style, his own thing. But I think it's a nice little blend of between Pantera and Nashville Pussy.
Really?
Yes.
And you like both of those bands?
Yes, I do. Root of the Mountain is very Nashville Pussy-esque.
Okay. Okay.
I dig that. I think To War is a phenomenal opener to an album.
Oh, dude.
Phenomenal album.
Phenomenal.
Now, yes. Here's my takeaway. His voice is god awful. But for the genre, that's what it is. It fits for that genre.
That's what's to be expected.
Yes.
Norwegian black metal.
Yep. So I can only knock it a little bit because that it's not even a Cookie Monster. It's a I don't know. I can't even describe it. It's that unique. So yeah, I couldn't understand half the stuff. Which again, my old ears. But if you're into this Norwegian black metal, and really the musicianship on this thing is just great. Just great. Count the Dead, another great song on that
favorite song on the whole fucking album, dude.
I get that. I
love it, dude. I love it, dude. That's my favorite track on the whole album.
I really thought that your favorite track on there was going to be Fenrir Hunts, or however you say it. Hunts. Yeah, it was okay. But Ocean of Wounds was really good. But really, the three main standout tracks for me was To War, Count the Dead, and Root of the Mountain.
My standout tracks are I love the whole album. Let me make that very fucking clear. I love this fucking album.
How'd you get turned on to this dude?
I think after listening or talking to my buddy Chuck from Beyond Neptune, we got to talking about some Norwegian black metal and stuff, and I started doing started diving, and I had noticed Immortal, and you got, I think, Mayhem's all part of that stuff and whatnot. But I was checking a lot of that stuff out, man, and there's some good stuff there. Not exactly my favorite vocal style, just like you, but man, the riffs are insane in a lot of Norwegian black metal. It's so good stuff. And I'll tell you what, I found that with vocals like that sometimes, or with vocals I'm not really happy about, eventually they grow on you. Eventually they really do. If you're listening and you really enjoy the song, they eventually grow on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I to that point, like I listened to this album probably 2 or 3 times. I mean, I listened to it 3 times. And I'm like, okay. The first time I heard To War, I'm like, good God, that voice, I can't deal with it. But the third rotation, I'm like, okay, I can. It's still annoying, but it's not as bad, and the musicianship makes up for all of that.
Yeah. Well, dude, like Bongzilla's like that for me. Like Muleboy's voice is really, really hard to take. And my buddy, my guitar player Tom, he was the same way. But he's like, dude, you kind of it just kind of grows on you eventually, like, because the musicianship is just so good. Maybe the vocals don't have to be the standout. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Cheers. But to me, real quick, To War, I absolutely love Winterbane. I listen to this album a lot of times in the winter because of that song. Ashes of the Dam. Ashes of the Dam. I like that. Oceans of Wounds. Count the Dead is hands down my favorite song. But the Immortal cover that he did, which was his band, that he ended up coming out of, the Nebular Ravers Winter, or Nebular Ravens Winter.
Yep.
That dude, I listened to the original.
That was a bonus track, by the way.
Dude, it's so good. Dude, it's what made me go back and check out more Immortal stuff. So I found out that, like, listening to what I've listened to so far, Blizzard Beasts and Sons of Northern Darkness are primo metal albums, dude. But yeah,
sweet,
good album. I'm glad. It sounds like you enjoyed a bit of it. What you got?
Yep. Man? I'm actually going to give this a 9.
Really?
I'm going to give it a 9. Again, not every song is perfect. That voice is just, you gotta enjoy that genre to get that voice.
Yeah.
But man, the musicianship in this is just great. It's just great.
Dude, it's a phenomenal album. It's hard to deny that this was. I do not know how this album, and I have to look at what was released that year, how this didn't get album of the year or metal album of the year. It was just that freaking good of an album.
You know why?
And it takes a lot to impress me.
You know why it didn't get metal album of the year?
Why?
Because it's Norwegian death metal.
Black metal, clown. Death metal and black metal are two different things.
Sorry.
Black metal is the Cookie Monster vocal. Or death metal is the Cookie Monster vocal.
Yeah.
Black metal is the.
You're not going to get those. You're not going to get those types of artists even nominated.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand what you're saying.
So with
he's trying to wrap us up, folks. That's what it is. See, that's a peek behind the curtain. I don't care. I'm open and honest with our fans.
Right? I don't care, dude. It is what it is. We got about 7 minutes left. So
that's
with
fine.
That being said, you've given it a solid 9, man. That's
yep.
I actually am impressed with that rating that you gave it a bit higher. This album is an absolute 9.75 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I figured it would be.
The only reason it gets a 9.75 is because there are a couple tracks that I do skip over.
Yeah.
When I turn it on, I go straight to I play all the way through to Count the Dead, and I may skip Fenrir Hunt's Root of the Mountain and Endless, and then play Riding on the Wind, Nebula Ravers, Wind is Black. There's nothing wrong with those songs. Just depending on how my day is going, I may listen to the full album. If not, and I want to hear the rest of the album, I'll skip those tracks.
Yeah.
But yes, it's a great album. Definitely, if you gave it a 9, man, you got to check out the other 2 albums. I don't think the third one's as good as the first or the second one, but I did dig the second one a little bit too. So
okay.
But this one gets the constant rotation, like no jokes. Like
sweet.
Cool. So with that being said, have you thought about your albums for next week, man?
I have. And I did a lot of soul searching on this. I was back and forth on this, on what album I was going to give you for all damn week. I start off with one in my head, and I really like that album. Like, I don't know. And then I heard this album today. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this one to you for a couple reasons. A, in honor of my brother Dale, who just passed away on Friday, and he loved this band. He loved this genre of music. And B, it's a fantastic fucking album. And you, sir, are getting Leonard Skinner's Street Survivors.
I wouldn't lie and tell you that I am not familiar with this album. I had a very long Leonard Skinner phase. and I am very familiar with them as a band.
Mm-hmm.
So I will look forward to this album for sure.
Absolutely.
I have not decided what I want to give you yet.
So while you're thinking about it, I'll tell you a couple little quick things about Street Survivors. So Street Survivors was actually released after the plane crash, and there was some controversy with the cover of Street Survivors. There's two covers. The first cover is the guys standing in a row walking down the street with flames all back behind them. And Steve Gaines, one of the guitar players who died in the crash, was engulfed in flames.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
You know, obviously, picture was taken way before the plane crash and all that. So, because it really traumatized a lot of people, they went ahead and edited out the flames.
Yeah.
So, if you're a collector, there are two copies or two versions of that album cover.
Okay. Interesting.
Are you having that hard of a time finding an album?
I'm actually just kind of going through my album collection here and just really trying to find something that you know what? I'm going to do it.
Do
Let me
it.
see if it's available on the tube.
If it's not, I got Spotify.
I've only got
it's
2
fine.
minutes, about 3 minutes left to do this. And I've been really struggling with what to give you lately, so bear with me.
By the way, guys, while we're in this lull,
I want to pull some really cool stuff out that I really dig that I don't think you've actually heard.
Yeah. Check us out on Spotify.
Yes, please. If you like what you see and hear today, please hit that like, subscribe, and comment down below. And check us out on Spotify if you're not able to watch the show or want to catch it. I've got to get the rest of the episodes uploaded though.
When should we expect that, Tony?
I'm going to try and actually get it done this week. All right, yeah, it's on the tube. Your album for next week. You ready?
Okay.
Monster Magnet.
Oh, okay.
Spine of God. This was my introduction to Magnet, and I would like it for it to be your first full album by them if you've never listened to them.
Okay. I'm going to load that in my system right now. That way I don't have to ask you in the middle of the week, what did you give me?
No, it's all good. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this album. And with that being said, we should probably be wrapping this up. We want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening. Please interact with us. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you think of the show. We want to know what you'd like us to check out. Once again, you can catch us here on YouTube every Tuesday. An episode's uploaded sometime between 9:30 and 10:30. And you can catch us on Spotify. There's plenty of episodes over there and more coming. Other than that, Bruce, anything else?
Listen, everyone, take care of yourselves. Don't forget to tell people that you have in your lives that you love them, because tomorrow's never promised.
Indeed.
Salute.
With that being said, we'll see you folks next week. With all going well, good night.
Good night.